Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna film a book review and I'm reviewing The Beautiful by Renée Ahdieh. This one is out on the 8th of October, so very soon. I got my ARC from my friend Justine because she is nice and kind to me. I read it. I actually read it twice. I don't know why, but it happened. I read it for the first time under the reading rush in the end of July, and I felt like I was rushing when I was reading. I just thought I did, and then I was like, I need to read it again because I feel like I missed things. And then I read it again in the beginning of August, like literally 1 week after I read it for the first time. So I read it twice and it turned out I was not rushing. I didn't actually miss anything. I will get into why I thought I was missing something after I talked what the book is about. So this book follows Celine, and she is from Paris and she decides to move to New Orleans in 1872. She is running away from something dark that happened in Paris and is hoping for a new and better life. However, in New Orleans, a series of killings have started to happen, and after a while it seems like they are targeting specifically people around Celine, so she is in danger. The book is also about vampires, and it is made clear really early in the book and also from like the blurbs and the things that we heard about before the book, so it's not a spoiler that it's a vampire book. And that's ultimately of course one of the reasons I was interested in it, because I love vampires. This book is signed and personalized to me, and that makes me so emotional because as a person who lives international, I don't get to meet authors, and that means so much to me, especially for one of my most anticipated releases this year. I have read Renée Ahdieh's other book, The Wrath and the Dawn and The Rose and the Dagger. I still haven't read The Flame and the Mist, but I do own it. And she always has like amazing premises in her books. Like The Wrath and the Dawn is like 1,000-night retelling. The Flame and the Mist I haven't read personally, but like that has an amazing premise as well that I can't exactly remember this instant. And again, vampires, New Orleans, historical fiction, but vampires. You know it's gonna be romance in it because it's Renée Ahdieh, you know, and you hear these awesome things, and I just feel like the execution doesn't live up to the hype or like to the blurb, because going into this you expect this intricate dark fantasy twisted tale about vampires. Obviously, look at the cover, come on, and it just doesn't deliver that. I mean, I'm not saying that the book is bad. I just feel like the expectation that people had, the expectations I had going into this, does not deliver, and it's really sad. I have had a lot of time to reflect upon this since the end of July to now in the middle of September, and I just realized that I was very disappointed in this, but that doesn't mean that it was bad and that I didn't like it, so I'm gonna further explain myself here. I have 3 pages of notes on this so I wouldn't forget anything. Celine is half Asian in this, and that is amazing, and I love that. Bastien, who the dude she meets here in New Orleans, a very handsome young man, is also POC. A lot of the characters are, and they're all positive towards them, and I love that. There is discussions and reflections upon race and white privilege, and I love that because I always think it's important to call that out. For example, based on your accent, I read you from Yorkshire, a proper English girl through and through. Color floated Pippa's cheeks. Yes, I'm from Yorkshire. Then you know that well aware that a scrapper from East India would never be permitted to work as a barrister in any circle of significance. And then not direct quote because I'm skipping a bit. That's by design, in case you didn't know. He laughed to himself. Not all of us believe in such notions, Pippa said softly. That may be true, he said, but all of you definitely benefit from it. Again, keep in mind that this is a quotation from the ARC, so this might change upon publication, but at the same time it was just this nice thing that happened, a comment upon white privilege, and there's thoughts and discussions upon this throughout the book, and they were really interesting, and I love that Renée Ahdieh includes people of color in her novels. I do really like her writing, and I did enjoy Celine as a character. I just felt like it was very insta-lovey. It's like The Wrath and Dawn. It reminded me of that, where they just start to like each other for no reason at all, and I still don't get why, and it's the same here. And I still question why these two characters loved each other. The conversation just happened and they're like, we like each other, and I was like, oh, since when? But fine. The whole reason for why they couldn't be together was kind of stupid, because she was like, I need a proper man, and because he was rude and not a proper gentleman, and that was the reason why they couldn't be together. And I was like, fine. And let's talk about vampires, because honestly, which vampires? The vampires are barely present in this book, and when it is like realized and explained, they don't actually explain anything at all, and then the book is over. Like, the vampires, like, you expect a vampire book to have vampires in it, and they were barely there. Yes, to have a presence, yes, there was these killings happening, but it was so anticlimactic, where I expected it to be a vampire novel, but it was really more of a romance novel, a forbidden romance novel, where they actually was just stupid and didn't actually not have a reason to be together, because Celine was resisting the darkness within her. Also, like, the whole past thing where she had done something bad was kind of stupid, but not like I understand why she felt bad, but it was just made like a really big deal of it, and I was like, okay. I did, however, like Celine and I liked Bastien. They were like fine characters enough, but it was just made such a big deal out of things, and I was like, why? And however, do leave you wanting more. I want more, but that was also like a bit cheap with a thing that happens with Celine, and you know that this thing is gonna be resolved, obviously, so there are, as I said, hinted towards things in the end that will come to play in the next book, but it is only a duology, so we don't have that much time to explore that much more. Given how little this gave us about the world and stuff, I am like, meh. Now I feel like I was very negative, but it just doesn't deliver what it said it was going to deliver. It's, as I said, more of a romance novel than anything else. And yeah, however, I, as I said, did enjoy all the people of color in this. I did enjoy the characters' interactions and dialogue. I did enjoy how it was written, but overall it's not a vampire book that I expected or wanted, because I just feel like it was not really a vampire book. We have the killings, but where are the vampires? They are there, but they are not really there. So I can see that fans of Renée Ahdieh's other book would really enjoy this, but it just reminded me of why I didn't love The Rat on the Dawn as I thought I would either, because like the plot twist there was just told in the beginning as the insta-love and stuff, and again the things go again in this one as like that, but overall I would give it like 3.5 out of 5 stars, because while I have, as I said, issues with it, especially since it promises vampires, but we barely get any. Not in a way you would expect, at least from a vampire book, because the reason I thought I was missing something, and the reason I read it again, was that when it was revealed everything that was happening, it just felt like so out of nowhere that I felt like I missed some clues there somewhere. So I was like, I need to read it again to see if like this is earned, and I just felt like it wasn't, and I was like, I didn't actually miss anything. So I just felt like the ending was just where we're like, whoa, where did that come from? But it was a bit like, meh, really, okay. However, the 2 times I read it, I had feelings throughout the whole book, like mixed, like, do I like this? Do I like this? I like this scene, but I don't really like overall, it doesn't give what you want it to give. But then in the end, both times that I read it, I was like, I want more, and I want answers, because you don't really get any, and I want more with these characters. I want more time with them. So even though, as I said, I had these issues with it, and you know, the expectations the books give you doesn't really get answered, it does give you this feeling that you want more, because the parts I enjoyed a lot, and I want more of that enjoyment. So overall, it's not that too bad. I'm not saying that I hated it, I'm not saying I didn't like it, I liked it enough, but as I said, the expectations and the blurbs and the hype that we get before really is not answered, but it doesn't mean that the answer that we get is too shabby, it's too bad. It's not. So again, 3.5 out of 5 stars, up to 4, 3.75. Not too bad, not too bad. So I think that's it for this review. I think I made okay sense here. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching, and you will see me soon in a new one. Bye!